Ouch. Ew. What's going on, guys? Happy Sunday to you. What is it? March 6th. Welcome to the stream. This is Obe TA. We go live. We look at the charts. Try to spot a mythical opportunity, right? Yeah, pretty much just go live here. We look at the charts. Anything you want me to take a look at, man. It says it right up top. Free requests, throw it in the chat. Let me know how your day was. Let me know how your week went, your weekend. Whatever you want to talk about, man. This is a safe space to discuss anything, charty or otherwise. But we're going to take a look now because at the moment, Bitcoin is seemingly selling off along with everything aside from basically commodities and silver or gold. The dollar is also doing pretty well, but let's take a look, all right, and just see where we're at right now. So we're going to start off with Bitcoin like we always do. Okay, so just taking a look at Bitcoin. What you'll notice right off the bat is, one, we're back below the trend line, and we've only really gotten outside of this one once, and that was this most recent time. And that was about 3 days ago. We're gonna have the weekly candle close in about 15 minutes as well, so we'll take a look at what that looks like, but not good right now. All right. The reason that it's not good is not because you've now formed like a triple top where you've now tested 44,500 3 separate times and failing, but the fact is you failed at this time after such a bullish structure here. All right, so this bullish shark harmonic with the confirmation low with hidden bullish divergence on the MACD, right, and all it did was get back and reject. That's just really not good. If it's ever going to launch from somewhere, this is pretty much it. All right, so look, it's not over yet completely. You could be getting something like what you had back here. I could get my brush, right? This back here. All right, so you got a couple bottoms, right, with some divergence and stuff, and it just took that third one for you to go. So maybe you need to come down and get a third one in before going. The reason I'm not super optimistic on that is just because of the poor performance that you're already seeing. All right, because even if we go back here, we haven't looked. Let me see if maybe we had, was there like a harmonic or something down here? Like, yeah, kind of. A little bit deep as far as the wicks go, right? This was a little bit cleaner as far as a harmonic, but I don't know, man. That's like, if we're hoping for something, maybe we're hoping it just comes down to hold 34 again. At that point, maybe we get some Class A bullish divergence or something again. But it's just like, after getting that bottom, dude, it looks so good with the divergence, and then all it did was make in the exact same high as the last two. It just can't get above 44.5, man. It's crazy. You haven't gotten above it since your first time here, January 13th. You just can't. So the problem now, because we can throw let me throw the 50-day moving average on there because you just fell below it again. But now you need to get back above the horizontal resistance, which is this B point back here. This is what you really needed to hold, right? To after selling off at the top up here, you needed to hold that support, man. That's a really important support. You needed to hold that, and you did not. You fell below it, and then yesterday you tested it, failed, and now you're dumping, right? Now you're really selling off again. So it's just like 12 minutes till this candle confirms. This would be a bearish engulfing candle. All right, so just nothing good as far as getting back above that support anytime soon, according to the chart here. But you need to get above that support, now resistance, the 50-day moving average again, and the trend line that we've had back from December 1st. All right, so you've got like a three-headed beast in front of you now, and all you're doing is just continuing to develop, really play out. The Class B bullish divergence has completely played out at this, or has completely gone negative at least, fully developed. Right, so this could just keep building, keep going, and if you get past this in the momentum, right, this low back here, it's like screwed. I really don't know what you would do at that point. You go to 30,000, I guess, in that case. That's the next strong support. If you can't make a higher low on the oscillators, you head back down to 30, which kind of makes sense. I've been talking about this as far as Wyckoff accumulation and stuff. I needed to make either the same low or a lower low than back here, according to his schematic. But the underperformance of stuff like this, dude, is just indicative of the trend we're in. So if bullish indicators underperform in bear trends, that's exactly what's happening right now. Strong bullish indicators are underperforming and fully developing. And not only did you have a class B, which is the same high in price with a lower high on the oscillators, you had double class B on the RSI. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So price, you can see, had the same high. You had it once here. That was on this first rejection back here. Then you've got it again, another lower high on the third one, the most recent one we just had. So, dude, double class B bearish divergence. It has fully formed too. You've gone negative today. So seems like 30K area is very possible, and with the war stuff, it makes it even worse. Yeah, man. The other thing too is that welcome, by the way. The other thing too is the Dow futures in the Dow, dude, are down like 300 points right now already. So futures usually indicate what the opening's going to do. So, dude, stocks are probably going to be down tomorrow. It could be bad, man. Oil and gold are pumping right now. We'll take a look at that, but yeah, dude, just not good. Really not good. And you remember that bearish scenario that I had drawn up way back when we got the first that head and shoulders. See if I could find it. We go into a real bear trend and we go down 80% like we did last time back in like 2017. Then we're talking like a $12,000 Bitcoin. I know I had it around here. So. Remember how far back it was. I might have even skipped over it. Whatever. We'll get back to the chart. But basically, the weekly head and shoulders playing out. We had like a mini one turned into a big one, which would break down to about the 886 from the low that we had back here, the COVID low. All right, and that's where a lot of even the indices you can measure them up that way from their COVID lows. Right, they're the major lows. But we go from the major low down to the 886 area, right around 11.5, $12,000. Okay. You're going to have supports on the way down. You're going to have 20,000. You're going to have this peak back here at like 17.5, right around the 786. But this is the opposite of what you want to be seeing. And if the Dow is any indication of what stocks are going to do and tech continues to sell off, Bitcoin is going to continue selling. So I think that's what's happening right now. Just bad, bearish sentiment in the stock markets right now, converting over into Bitcoin. And just, yeah, man. What do we got now? 8 minutes until this closes. Let's move it over to the weekly. Just a humongous, you could call it an inverted hammer, I guess, but just huge upper wick. We're coming all the way back. You almost had like a beautiful evening star. After a nice bullish harmonic, it was almost really good. And then just sold off, man. And that's why you need to wait, because yesterday this was a full green candle, and it's like, oh my god, we're about to get an evening star, let me buy now. You have to wait until the candles close, because now 2 hours before it does, it starts selling off, and now it looks bad. So the only other hope we had was on the 4 hour. We had hidden bullish divergence going on. All right, we had some hidden bullish divergence going on. We had the lower low on the oscillator with the higher low going on. Indecision candles, maybe. Then it came up and rejected the support. All right, that critical support. Confirmed it as resistance. That's really bad, man. So, hidden bullish divergence not really playing out. Continuing to sell off. Just garbage. Gross. And had it on the RSI. So, yeah, man. I mean, 34,000 is probably the likely spot. You even have a slight, like head and shoulders going on here. I don't want to make this too messy, but right head, left shoulder, right shoulder here forming at that 40,000 horizontal resistance support should have been. And if you just take the measured move on this thing, up to the head, breakout, which did happen. So yeah, puts you right down around 33.4, 34,000, which is just support is that. That's from that's your most recent wick low you had back here, February 20th. So, and the measure move here even sends you down to the real wick low. That's just one candle that touched there. This one back here, 32, about 33,000. All right, that's like the real level there. So what we could do even is, because again, you can see the 886 in the shark here, but we Fibonacci from the July low like we've been doing. It. You think after this dump we'll reach a higher high? I don't know, man. That's the thing. Like your attempt to make a higher high was right here, March 2nd. That was your bullish shark, low, higher low with hidden bullish divergence, which signals a continuation to the upside, right? Because now we have the higher low, would signal the continuation to the upside, which should have made a higher high, but it did not. You got to 44.5 again, and it dumped, man. It dumped pretty violently. So, dude, that's bearish confirmation if I've ever seen it. And truly, if you fall back down to 33,000, right, this level again, it's just like, I don't want to fall below 37.3. This low here from February 22nd. I do not want to be back below that, dude. You start making like a lower low, or you start making lower highs again. You haven't had a lower high truly since January 13th, right? This one back here, right? From this high to this high, that was your last lower high before starting to bottom out at the 886, okay? Got back up there, tested it, right? Same high, a little bit, wicked up above it at least a little bit, right? And wiped out that bearish divergence, kinda, before coming down, making a higher low. So then it's like, okay, here we go. If you need the trend to reverse, you need higher lows and higher highs. So it's like, all right, same high, but then we got a higher low. Step one. That's what we wanted. Higher low. Good start. Then we needed to make a higher high, man. Because then you come down, right? Come below it again, and then make another higher low. And then another higher high, and then another higher low, right? But we're not doing that. We just made the third same high, and now it's not even like it's kind of like weak selling, like it's dumping. So, I don't know, man. This is really not good. And that's the thing. With everything going on with, Russia and it's just so crazy, so uncertain, inflation. It's just nuts, man. It's really hard to trade in an environment like that because there's just news catalyst after news catalyst. Every day there's a new development and stuff. Now they're talking about an embargo on Russian oil, so now oil is pumping, right? So it's really hard during this kind of stuff because it's just there's a new headline every single day. Russia was just banned from the national cat. The Worldly Cat Committee or something like that for feline shows. Like, you can't submit a Russian cat. Like, why even do that? How is that helpful? I don't understand. Everyone's just like, I don't know if that's like a virtue signal thing or what it is, but it's like, you think Putin's got some kind of cat that he's a prized cat that's won 10 years running, so he's going to call the war off because Mr. Whiskers needs to be in the next competition? Like, come on, dude. Silly. Silliness.
Frosty!
But where are we at? 2 minutes till the candle close. We're going to hang out on Bitcoin until it does. Looking like it's going to confirm a bearish engulfing candle. So likely head down to the next support after something like that. After rejecting what should have been the support, the next one is down around 34.3. So that's probably where we're heading. Okay. Mr. Whiskers. Yeah, dude. What would he name his cat? You had to guess what Putin would name his cat. What do you think it would be? Hank? Zarbamba? Something like that? Stupid.
Right.
What's up, man? Thanks for your opinion. Yeah, you got it, dude. You got it. Absolutely, man. We're gonna move it to Ethereum after this. You know, I'm actually gonna move it to, because Ethereum is dumb. Crypto's gonna do what Bitcoin's doing here. Minute 50. Let me take a look. 4 hour real quick. See if anything is developing. You're going towards positive again, but you're selling off, right? This is not what you want to see. You do not want to see price selling off to the downside while momentum is shifting up. All right, that's kind of divergence on its own. So while you don't have like discernible divergence, that's bad stuff, man. That's like bear flag type stuff. Just not good. Really not what you want to be. Let me get the 200 on. Yeah, it's even like you just had a golden cross on the 4 hour and it's just dumping. So this is probably going to cross back over, which is also not a good sign. There's just so much ahead of you. You have like a triangle of despair right here. Right here. Okay, this zone right here is like death. Like the death zone. Okay, that's really strong resistance. Horizontal, both moving averages on the 4 hour, the trend line that we've had up here, this upper trend line, it's just, and you even have hidden bullish divergence going on, but you're selling off. It's like you had it on the RSI and the MACD, and technically it's still even developing towards the upside, yet you're selling off, dude. That's really bad. Really weak. Where are we at? 15 seconds. All right, let's see. It's selling even more. Where are we down? 2.48%. Move it to the weekly candle so we can see exactly what we're getting here. Triangle. Get out of here. Weekly candle just closed. Inverted hammer, I guess, if you want to call it that. You really wanted to see it up. This is the bad thing about it. It's like if you just got this by itself and had a little wick, okay. But the fact that you had a rising 3 methods, actually. You had a rising 3 methods Japanese candlestick. You had the long upper green one here from January 31st, 3 red, and then a long green one that engulfed all 3 of those. Right? That's a really bullish candlestick formation, and yet it turned into basically nothing. All of that was wiped out. No rising 3 methods, denied, before coming back down, right? Smacked back down, trash. Okay, that's it. So that's the weekly. Bearish engulfing on the daily. Yeah, I mean, I think we head down to 34.3. That's it for Bitcoin, all right? Beating a dead horse at this point. Take a look at Ethereum, see what it did on its weekly. We'll start with the daily, but yeah, daily, same kind of thing, all right? Let me see. So it didn't have the divergence. This was just bullish convergence. Forever on Ethereum, I've been saying I really want to come down to 2,000 at the 886. Right, that's like a dream set. I mean, drag it over. The 886 down here, like 2,000. All right, get down there. Get some actual divergence at this point. Because remember back here from on January 24th, there was no divergence on the oscillators, or there was nothing. Right, it was just oversold and reacted. Which is why I, back then, didn't really believe that the bottom was in, right? You could just look in history and you always get the divergence before real reversals. You at least get divergence. You've gotten none on this last little rally here. So kind of like a faux rally. If that's one of the things that you look for in a real reversal and you don't have it, okay? It's like a sandwich without the mayonnaise. Disgusting. Okay, this upper trend line should not be that high. It should be right about here. Right here. Okay, fake out, back down below its own critical support. Right here, right around 2,600, okay, this B point. Dude, you needed to hold it, and you did not. You even came back up and tested it, and now you're dumping again. It was like confirmed resistance at this point.
Okay. Are you guys having a killer time?
Got it. So Ethereum, man, there's nothing to be done. There's nothing to buy. There's nothing to be done until this comes down and you start getting, if you can, some Class A bullish divergence or something. I'm not touching this, man. Okay. But yeah, I'd say 2,100, honestly. Let me look back. Okay, you've got this. We treated it as support before. I'll take it again right here. This peak back here from July 7th. So we can go ahead, plot that. Yeah. There we go. All right, but just go to the 886, man. Go to the 886 with divergence and go from there. Anything below 2,000, like 1,700. Close from back here. Let me just wanted to show, right, how before, after major dumps and these kind of rallies, okay, we got up above and then fell back below, double bottomed with the divergence at that point. That's when it goes. So yeah, we could just, maybe we just come back down to 2150, hold this low that we painted January 24th. Maybe that's what it needs to do. But yeah, right now, bad thing. Clean this up. Let me the move here. And way below the 2. You look at the 4 hour. 4 hours, the same thing. So 4 hour had the hidden bullish divergence and play out. Actually, so the 4 hour though on Ethereum is starting to go negative again. So failed. And again, all it did was get you back up to that critical support back here before confirming it as resistance and falling below. You are probably going to 2,400. All right. Go to 2,400. Maybe you work on like a type 2 return from this bullish bat, this little green guy. All right. So you come down and hold, what, 2,300. Okay. Get that second low, right? It's not all over for this stuff, but for the time being, you're rejecting support. You're probably coming back down to these levels. But yeah, get the type 2 off of this little bullish bat. Maybe we get something like that. But that even might, since we're underperforming, maybe that just gets you back to the trend line again, right? You don't want to. You want to wait though. If it gets here and holds and it starts confirming, you have just so much resistance at that point above you that you just don't really want anything to do with this until it gets out of here and then comes down and then holds or something. After dumping like this, man, it could take weeks before getting some good signals as to whether or not to buy. Let me take a look at the weekly, see what it did. Same thing, right? Inverted hammer after a doji, after indecision, just nothing great. This still has the potential for hidden weekly bullish divergence. Technically. As long as you make a higher low, this low back here, you'll have hidden bullish divergence on them. All right, you'll have it on the MACD and on the RSI. So truly, man, you just go to that 2,000 mark at the 886 and rally from there, and you'll get the hidden bullish divergence off of a beautiful harmonic, off of really strong horizontal support. Okay, that was kind of the spot all along, but all right. Likely where we're going, about 2,400, 2,405. See what it does then. I want to take a look now at gold and silver because I know that they're pumping a little bit here. I mean, just beautiful. Just being over 1,962. We can go back in history here. The 1,962 was this peak back here from 2011, right? August of 2011. Okay. Not only did you touch it there as resistance, you came all the way into the future.
Nice!
May 10th, 2021, tested it and treated it as resistance again before coming down, right? Selling off. Now you started making higher lows. See what we're saying? Higher lows, higher lows, higher highs. And ultimately, you have broken that resistance. So, beautiful. You are more than likely heading up to 2081. This high back here from August 3rd of 2020. Especially with everything going on. Let me get that last price back in here. Okay, which is what? A further 4.5%. Okay, and really, we start going into like recession type stuff, right? And especially because they were talking about how I didn't know that Russia was the breadbasket of the world. Russia and Ukraine, that area, the soil is like so fertile apparently that during World War II, Germany was sending trains, like a caboose. They would just fill up on their soil and ship it back to Germany to grow stuff. That's how fertile it is. That was one of his like major plans during the war. He was stealing their dirt, literally.
Right.
And now that we've got all these sanctions and everything on the man, they've stopped like exportation of fertilizer. Wheat's gonna fall itself, but it just means crop yields are gonna fall. There could be a real like hunger crisis coming down the pipe. So just man, and the wheat futures show that they're pumping even harder than gold and silver. So it's like the money to be made is now no longer in tech. Crypto still follows tech for the time being. So until that truly decouples, Bitcoin is kind of like a giant tech company. It's kind of annoying because it's supposed to be this world currency that you can flock to when your government screws your fiat up and everything, right? But it's just not behaving like that. So maybe one day, but for the time being, it's still acting like a tech stock. Which is why when the Fed said they weren't going to raise rates as high and tech started pumping, that's when Bitcoin pumped hard, right? It's still following. So it's like you could sit here and say, well, there's crisis and that's why Bitcoin is rising. I don't think that's the case. Tech had that pump for those couple days and Bitcoin followed suit, did the same thing. So I don't think that it's because of crisis. I think it's following tech. Now that the Dow and stocks, the futures are down, it is also selling off again. Okay, so just be wary if anybody's out there, telling you no, it's pumping because it's finally a hedge against inflation. It's finally here. It's like, I'm not so sure. Not so sure.
Psych.
But I'll tell you what is acting like a hedge, and as oftentimes in the past, gold. Okay, gold. Heading to 2081, most likely next. And yeah, dude, you might get a pullback to what was once resistance, treated as support. And that's fine. And that might be a better entry for you, but then something like that. Okay. Even with bearish harmonics and stuff up here, it's like, let me see. Yeah, there's just nothing else, man. It got above all of the major resistances. And it's at the 786. It even got past the golden zone. The golden zone, which was right at that peak, by the way. Right, you can see the 50% retrace and the 618 from the high to the low. It just blew through it like it was a joke. So it blew through a common reversal area and very, very strong horizontal resistance. Blasted through it. That is extremely bullish. And when you do stuff like that, you very likely go to the next resistance, the all-time high. And then from there, truly, if we stay in this kind of environment, yeah, you're going up to like the 1272, probably the 1618. So you probably do something like this. A 618 almost perfectly. All right, if we want to put it here, we can, whatever. But yeah, like a crab. Up around the bullish crab territory. Where you at? There you go.
Crab sticks do not actually contain any crab, and from 1993, manufacturers have been legally obliged to label them crab-flavored sticks.
Ladies and gentlemen, the informative crab and him.
I love gold.
Peter is he's dancing right now. He's a happy guy. I like Peter, man. I don't agree with him when he just talks about crypto being a bubble. Like, I mean, here's the thing. There are a lot of cryptos that are definitely a bubble. Okay, we're buying Doge food. That's a crypto, right? There's also Doge Killer, green Shiba Inu, red Shiba Inu, right? Particle or Ethereum Particle or what? Dude, I don't know. It's just like a dog factory with these cryptos, right? There's like a dog theme, and it's every breed you can think of. There's a coin named after, and they're pumping. Like, you're telling me there's not a bubble? There's a bubble. Okay, there is. Does it have its application? 100%. Okay? Truly believe it's going to change the world of finance in the future. But, and that's long term, talking years, like a decade from now. But, yeah. Peter would always still talk about it, even though Bitcoin, right? Just say that it's garbage and gold is the future. He's been saying that for like a decade while it was doing literally nothing. You would have missed out on, hundreds of percents. But long story short here, gold in this type of environment, especially inflation, war, all this crap, probably going to the 1618 up here, 2,300, which is a further 17%, which is cool, man. Like, what are you going to keep your money in dollars? That's the whole thing with inflation. If inflation is at 8%, if you had 100 grand in a savings account, which gives you basically 0.005%, virtually zero, by the end of the year, you will be down $8,000. Okay, so you're losing money by just holding on to cash. So it might not be the crypto gains. We're not making 100% over 2 weeks, but dude, 17% in the course of a few months, even the year, you're at least beating inflation in an environment like this. I'll take it all day long, man. And there's like 2 times leverage ETFs and stuff like that, which is fine. It's nothing crazy. It's not 100x, If you want to get a little more performance, but yeah, gold, really good. Let's move to silver, also really good. Is it up on the day here? Up about 1%, approaching. It's actually approaching a resistance, I believe, from, yeah. So see this support level back here? All right, these 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of technically. So it's approaching that support. So dude, get above that. There's really nothing else until this peak here from May 24th. So you break above that, which you most likely will, because you could even see on the weekly time frame, Class A bullish divergence going on, double bottom at historical resistance back here from July of 2016. Just really good. And this is on a weekly, so we're talking weeks out of just positive performance. And what's this? You just got above your local resistance here from November 8th. So cool, man. Perfect. All you need to do really is get above 26.25, and it's probably a quick trip 28.75, and then you come down, hold it as support for the first time since, what is that, since 2012, since June, so since a decade. So the first time in 10 years you would treat that as support. Yeah, you probably head back up towards these types of levels back here. All right. And we're talking 35.57. And let's just throw it from the high to the low here. That's exactly where the 1618 is. Okay. Yep. Golden mean ratio in a bull trend and uptrend. Got the 1618 in time. And I'm talking like months. Okay. But hey, man, it's better than being in Tesla, where you have no clue. That thing's swinging 10% each way every day. I don't want that. Dude, I want to be able to sleep at night. So we're talking like longevity and just safety and making some money. Yep. Good. It's not even overbought. Not overbought on the weekly. All right. So let's see how much that even is. I think that outperformed gold. It's about the same. Oh, wait. No. That's about 36 more percent. And again, they have like 2 times silver ETF funds. So if you want a little more growth, for every percent that this is up, would get 2%, right? So there are things like that. I don't usually advocate for any kind of leverage, really, but 2 times, whatever, whatever. You don't even need a margin account. You can literally just invest in that ETF. Gives you the. Take a look at the daily, shorter time frame, the 1272. This bearish butterfly gets you above 26.25. So it gets you above that support level, which is all you need, man. That's all you need. You just got to get above it. get above it, and then you can come back down and hold it, okay? But this is what we wanted crypto to do. We wanted it to break its trend line and go. We don't want it breaking the trend line and then coming back in the trend line below the 50 moving average, below horizontal critical support, right? It'd be like if it fell below this point back here from March 31st. It'd be horrible. And it'd be most likely coming back down to 2145, but it's not doing it. Okay. And it broke that resistance, that peak back here. So just good stuff, man. Okay. Take a look at oil. I know also pumping 9.2%. I know this started pumping, I believe, after they were talking about the embargo with Russia. An embargo is literally just like a complete ban of a certain good. It's like a boycott, I guess, right? Sanctions are kind of like a tax or something almost on it. A sanction is like, you know, we were accepting 80% of the wheat imports, but now we're only going to take like 10%. Like they cut it off. And an embargo is literally just a ban. So if they just start banning Russian oil, like I also don't even know what to believe really anymore. There's so much crap out there that's just like turned out to be fake. You know, 18 women and children died, and then the next day it's like, turns out they didn't really die, they surrendered, and it's like, you know. And then the child got in an F-16 and blew up the capital state house in Moscow. He flew the 6-year-old flew the jet into Putin's headquarters, ejected before impact, and then proceeded to knock out 24 special forces before being captured. It turns out it's Brittany Grimer, right? Like they have Brittany Grimer as a prisoner or something right now. I read there. I just saw that article. Brittany Grimer, who's like the only household name in the WNBA, I think. She's like the only one that can dunk, I believe. Don't get all upset about that, but I think that's her. She's like the one known for dunking. It said they found her with like vape juice in Russia, so now they're holding her. They arrested her. Dude, what is going on? Is that true?
Right.
And then you've got like analysts like, oh, they think they're gonna use her as a pawn to get some as a trade-off for Russian criminals. What Russian criminals do we have? How would we have any Russian prisoners of war? Like, what are they talking about? I don't know. Stupid. But yeah, look at oil too. Like oil, you're way above the major resistance points that you had back here: 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. You see what I'm saying? Right? You're just in the middle of glory here, on the way to that all-time high back here from 2008. Remember what happened back then?
Okay.
So you're at like crisis levels up here. That's, you know, the housing crash and everything. Okay. I saw too, they just passed, the Senate just passed to end the National COVID Emergency Act or whatever, right? They're eliminating the emergency protocol threat level for COVID. And then I'm also seeing that Congress is going to deny it, and then even if Congress passes it, then Biden's going to veto it. So it's just like, okay, but is it really passed? I don't know. Is it passed or not? Just like goofiness. But yeah, 145. You're heading to 145 in time. You are extremely over. So it's like the fundamental analysis comes into play here, right? The technical analysis states that since you're above that resistance on the charts, you're going to the next resistance, that all-time high, around 145. From there, I guess we could do something like this, right? All-time high to the low? Was this like right around COVID? Dang, dude, oil was... Yeah, there was no demand for it. That makes complete sense. There were no planes flying, cars weren't really driving anywhere, nobody needed gas. So it was in the dumps. That makes complete sense. Wow, that was like your lowest ever. That's crazy. Also makes sense though. And now, in 2 years, you're about to be at your highest ever. So talk about volatility, oil, and of course, as oil goes up, the pump goes up, right? Gas prices, that's the way it works. Supply and demand. If demand is skyrocketing, the supply is shrinking, talking embargoes and sanctions and yada, price goes up. So 145, and that's pretty extreme up there. 230. I mean, could though. That's the thing, man. The 1618 during this kind of stuff, you get up around there. But first things first, like the 1272, I might even from this recent high of like September 2018. I mean, that's like, we're talking multi-year stuff here to the COVID low. We're at the 1618, so the 2618 puts you up around $200. Okay, reasonable. This is almost like a gigantic. Let's do it for fun. We got 618. What's all the way down here? 1272. Here we go. Up to the 886 gets you around. You're like at it. Right here. Heck is 1232, 1272. Little strange. I'm talking like a shark here. Go 6. That I get. Major selling points. 63. It's a little bit wonky, but we're already at the 886. We're not stopping, right? So at least to the 113. Yeah. Pick up to the 113, which is right around 167. Okay, so we're talking. This is what, 14-year harmonic. Okay, we're getting a little bit out there right now, but it's interesting. Look out, you can flip it over so you can see a little better. There's the shark, and the shark doesn't matter actually. Yeah, that's true too. The shark doesn't matter from the X to 8 point. Be whatever as far as the shark is concerned. You'd like to see it like a 618, just be a little more clean, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, here's your shark. Probably the 113. The 886 is right here. You would expect it to reverse now. Even then, I don't see why it would, but come down, hold that as support instead of resistance before then going. But dude, the fundamentals with this crap, there's no technical analysis to be done when there's embargoes and stuff going on. We can just see the levels. We can see the next level of resistance, and we're likely going, and that's it. 145. Okay, and keeping it technical though, 113 I would say is like the target after that. The deep shark. All right. The deeper shark. Cool. Oil, take a look at the dollar as well. Dollar was doing pretty well. Oh, we'll take daily here. Wait, let me move back to the weekly. I want to see. Yeah, so I mean, you're above a major resistance back here, 1994, 1991, okay, and then held as support here, 1999, right? That's a pretty well-respected level at 97,271, and you are above it. Okay, nice, back above it, cool. The daily, let me see, actually I want to see if there's any divergence right. The dollar double bottom here. Yeah, look, and this is what I'm talking about, man. All right, this is where you start to see the reversals happen. The real reversal. Okay, this had double. Same low. It's pretty much a same low. All right, this is what I'm talking about. This is where you see real reversals happen. Okay, Double bottoms with divergence on both oscillators. Double class A, bullish divergence on both oscillators. Now pricing. A reversal, okay? This is what Bitcoin and Ethereum are lacking. They didn't have this. They were just oversold and reversed and up to try and get above the most recent high and could never break it. They couldn't get above it. And that's what happens when you don't have the divergence here, showing real seller exhaustion. You get pumps, you get reliefs, but they just get up to resistance before failing oftentimes. You get this kind of stuff, really a stronger reversal. You're getting on the dollar, and then now you're above multi-year highs, decade resistance point. Okay, so the dollar probably heads up to, let's see, we are in a W shape here. Yeah, I mean, you're past the 618. 886 is usually a common area after getting past that, so we're talking up around 101. At that point, you're above 100, so you could probably come back to this high here from March of 2020. March 16th, a little tweezer top before death. Held the 200-week moving average as well. Did really good. It actually looks really good. See a little W going on here. Kind of curious. That, yeah, that's right, the 1618. So it's like right at the pattern completion zone of this little bearish crab. So maybe it pulls back here, right? I mean, this is pretty small, but maybe it pulls back and holds 97 for the first time. Oh my goodness. First time since March of 2020. So since the COVID crash. Hold it, all right? 2 years. It's been 82 years.